Hey guys, welcome back to Gingerbread Aquatics. This is Andrew. I'm going to take you guys on a little update of the tank and what's going on, and some things that I've added, some things that I added that I shouldn't have added, and just some overall just thoughts about how the aquarium is going right now. So stay tuned. Yeah, stay right there. I'll try my best to keep the glare down. Oh, there goes a snail. He just lost his grip and it is floating right up to the top. Sort of funny to see when they do that, and they'll latch onto the side and then work their way back down. But sorry about the glare. There really isn't anything I can do about it because of the time that I'm filming. But we'll just sort of get right into it. So you can see that we have some new plants here and in the back there, as well as here and there from the last time. So I ended up getting some guppy grass 2 months ago almost, or maybe it was a month and a half ago. Yeah, it was about a month. It was about a month ago, month and a half ago. I got guppy grass because I had my cherry shrimp that were buried up, and they didn't look like a lot of their shrimp were surviving. So I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. And if you can see right there on that rock, there is a little tiny shrimplet right there. And I think the reason why I'm seeing more and more, and there's one of the big mamas right there, I think the reason why I'm seeing more and more of those is because of that guppy grass, and it's providing a space for the shrimplets to hide out after they're born, that these guys cannot attack them or prey on them, as well as the celestial proldannios that are in here. So I really think that's been fantastic to have in there, and to have that cover for them to live in, and to grow up in and whatnot. Also, as you can see, I don't really have any algae problems now. I have some macroalgae on this piece of Java fern that I got this past weekend. But besides that, my Nubius plants are clean. I don't have any hair algae on any of the leaves of the crypts, or anything on the Amazon sword. And I have to say that it's probably most likely and entirely due to these guys, to these ram's horn snails that I got from one of my coworkers at work. He gave me a big batch of them, 10 or so of them, and they just started going to town. And I don't know if it is directly because of them eating it, but I definitely think it's because of them crawling and going over all of the plants. Like you can see on these crypts here, you have a couple little babies that are just working up and down the leaves. There's another one working up and down the leaves, and you just see how many I actually have in here. There are just tons and tons and tons and tons of these little tiny snails, and the reason because I have all these tiny little snails is because I've been overfeeding my tank. And I know that I've been doing that because I've been trying to target feed these smaller celestial proldannios you see darting around in the tank. I've been trying to feed those. I have about 20 of those smaller guys, and I've been trying to make sure that they get enough food to actually grow and develop and not die because they've been starved. So I've been overfeeding because of that, and I've been overfeeding because of my plecos that I have. I've been wanting them to be able to get enough food for them to live, and I'm a little worried about them dying off and doing poorly. But you can see the one big guy right there on the rock. I have another one of about the same size. Those are some super red plecos that I have. There's another one in there, and then I have a couple other plecos that are, I believe, a calico or a mix between a super red and it's not a pure super red, I guess. This guy has a really red body. Of course, the juveniles that I wanted to show you, or would want to show you, are not out and about right now. But they have some brown spotting and whatnot. I might overlay some footage of those guys if I find one of them. But yeah, I've been overfeeding them. I've been feeding some sinking pellets to them. I've been feeding about 4 or 5 of those. That's definitely much more than they probably are eating, and all the snails are eating all of the extra food, and same with the shrimp. So I can't really complain about that, getting more shrimp and more snails. I'll probably just end up, I'm trying to go for this type of snail here, actually. This guy, he has that blue color, which looks really good in this aquarium, I think. And then he also has what I'm naming it like a tiger pattern almost. It has that spotting pattern on his lower part of his shell there. He's not the greatest example, but he'd be one that I'd want to keep. But all these brown ones that I have, or blue ones that I have, I would be getting rid of that aren't that tiger pattern, because I'm going to have so many snails. And while I'm talking about this guy, one of the very interesting things is that, I don't know if I'll be able to show you guys, but he actually, you can see, there we go, you can see that line like in the middle of his body, and that's actually from all that blue growth in the front is growth that he's done while he's been in the tank, and all that line back behind him is growth that he did in his old tank. And you can see that his shell prior to this, or the environment that he had, didn't have enough calcium carbonate in the water for him to actually produce a good healthy shell. But now that he's gotten to here, you can see that he's really putting on a nice healthy shell. It's a really deep blue and it's not super faded. Whereas this guy here, you can see in his previous environment, he was not doing too happy because he was having his shell degraded actually, and you can see that it was starting to break apart there. And he's still doing fine and all, but that's just sometimes what happens with snails if you don't keep up your levels high enough. Calcium carbonate, and all these rocks are releasing that into the water column, so I don't have to worry about that. And then the new plant that I got back there, the long spindly one, is Rotala Wentilii, I think. I'll have to double check, and I'll put the name in the description or in the below right now when I go back and look over it, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I ended up getting that at the fish auction for $6, sorry, for 5 stalks of it. And it's some of it's floated up, and some of it actually are starting to send out roots into the substrate when it's floated up, and I just planted it back down, and I'm really excited to see how that goes, because that, I think that will look really good. I think I'm going to try to get rid of this Amazon sword, but I don't know how well or how easily I'll be able to remove the Amazon sword because of the undergravel filter, and that its roots are probably permeated down into all those grates, which will make it difficult. But I'm going to talk about now some things that I wish I had done when I got in all these new fish that you actually don't see in here right now. So let me turn this around and I'll give you guys the lowdown. I end up getting fish from the auction, the fall auction for the Louisville Tropical Fish Fanciers Society. And I ended up getting back close to 9 o'clock on a Sunday night, and I get up at 5:30 in the morning and was just really quick about getting the fish in. Didn't rush getting them in, but didn't want to set up the quarantine tank that I had. I ended up putting in the 8 Harlequin Rasboras that I had, 4 super red bristlenose plecos that I had, and the, how many was it? Like 24, 25 Celestial Pearl Danios. So I ended up acclimating all those to temperature, like dump them out of the bag. I can show you guys later how I do that, but it's very common routine practice, I think. And then plopping them in there and going away. When I came back the next morning, I had a dead pleco, another dead pleco the Tuesday, and then a dead pleco again on the Thursday. I had 1 dead in the bag. So I lost all 4 of my super red plecos that I got. And I only have 1 Harlequin Rasbora left, and I'll go show you guys now him in the tank that I should have put everyone in to begin with. Now, this is going to be really bad glare, but there's the 1 Harlequin Rasbora that I've left. There's one of his dead buddies that died today, and there's another one right next to him that died yesterday that I didn't get out because I lost him in that algae. But he's the only one that I have left. And I think the reason why they didn't do very well in my tanks was because they were coming from a outdoor pond. Like I was saying, I think they were coming from an outdoor pond. Same with those bristlenose plecos, and I think that they haven't really been fed a prepared diet, and I think that's why I had such bad results with them. It's just simply because they haven't been fed any prepared foods, and coming into my system, there wasn't any algae or crustaceans or zooplankton for them to eat, and they just ended up starving to death, which is what I think happened with all of them. I'm going to leave this guy that I have in here right now here for a couple more weeks probably. I'll be doing some water change. I'm going to remove those dead bodies after I finish this video. And then we'll see how he does, and if he does well and is all good and healthy after a couple more weeks in here, I will go put him in the big tank with his 4 friends in there. But I wish I would have just spent the time Sunday night to actually acclimate these guys in this tank and leave them in here, and if they had any disease issues or anything like that, to actually have them be quarantined and not damaged or possibly damaged my main tank. So that's a lesson learned. I've never really had any issues before, but I'm definitely going to. It takes one time to kill off an entire tank, and I don't want that to happen. Hopefully that doesn't happen with these guys. I'd be really sad about that, and it'd be entirely on me. But yeah, we'll have to see how he does. I think he's still alive after almost a week now, so I think he'll be good. But yeah, make sure when you guys are at auctions or things like that to quarantine your fish when you get back, even if it's inconvenient or more time intensive or whatever. And if you can, try asking where the fish are coming from, whether or not they're coming from a pond or coming from a tank or coming from a tub outdoor, whatever it is, just to have a better understanding or better background so that you don't kill the fish when you get there. And if I would have known that they would have been raised outdoors, I might have been probably more hesitant to actually purchase them, because I knew I would have known that they probably wouldn't be used to prepared foods, and I don't have the type of fauna and flora that they're used to eating in an outdoor system. So do your due diligence before you're getting fish at an auction. If you can, if you know the sellers, ask them. Just be like, hey, I'm thinking about at least bidding on this fish. I wanted to know what I should provide for them to have a good habitat and a good environment for them. And I don't think they will fault you for that. So that's all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. A little rough and whatnot. I didn't really want to get back up, so I'm just sitting here now. If you stayed till the end, like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends. I'd really appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think, your thoughts, comments on all of this. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Signing off with Gingerbeard Aquatics. There we go. I did what you're supposed to do, right? I think so. See you guys.